Go for it.
Just a few thoughts about the vidui that we're going to be saying in a few days on Yom Kippur, and we're already saying during the slichos. Sometimes as I go through the vidui, I think to myself, there are two categories. There are some of these sins that I know that I've very much done, but then there's also this group of sins that I kind of figure like that one doesn't really apply to me. I don't think I've really done that one this year. And it kind of raises the question of that really, maybe the vidui, the confession, maybe that's something that should have been personal. Maybe we should have been allowed to write our own vidui. And the answer to that is obviously that if it was left to our own design, so the chances are we probably would forget something. So Chazal put it together the list for us so that we would have some kind of guide about what to say. But while in the midst of that vidui, so just again a few points. Number one, the vidui is in the order of the aleph beis. So maybe what's happening is that when we say ashamnu, besides the ashamnu that we're saying and whatever that avera means, and I strongly encourage everybody to take out an art scroll or some other sefer and to go through the vidui to understand which specific sins are these that we're mentioning, which ones do they refer to? Maybe they actually do refer to some of the things that might be more relevant to us. But on top of that, ashamnu is the aleph sin. What other sins are there that are aleph sins? Like, for example, machalos asuros. Maybe I ate things that weren't permitted. So even though there is no specific confession for eating something inappropriate, perhaps that falls into the aleph. When we get to bagadnu, so which sins can I think of that apply to bet and gimel and daled, etc. down the line? So maybe there is room for us to individualize our confession, and maybe there is also place for us to put the sins that aren't specifically listed in the vidui. So that's point number one. Point number two is that if we look at the vidui, we don't say ashamni, or however that would work in diktuk. It's not my asham and it's not my bagad, but asham nu and bagad nu. And we very much need to realize that when we're doing this confession, it's not just about us, but it's about the community, about many of the people that might not know today's Yom Kippur, they might not know about what our avodah on Yom Kippur is, and we have a responsibility to everybody, and that's part of the reason that maybe even if I haven't done this sin, is that I'm part of a people that takes responsibility for other people's wrongdoings as well, and we have a portion and a need to confess those sins as well, and that's also an important feature of the confession. And lastly, I wonder, I don't know if I've ever seen this anywhere, but I just wonder as we're going through the vidui, is that maybe there are some of these things that I haven't done, but maybe what Anshe Knesset Agdola are telling us is they're painting for us the picture of what is an ideal Jew. These are the things that Jews stand for. Yes, maybe I excelled at some of these. Maybe there are some of them I didn't slip up, I didn't do wrong. But I'm painting a picture and I'm drawing out what does an ideal Eved Hashem look like. And maybe that's the focus of what we should be doing on Yom Kippur. That yes, we need to go back and we need to regret our sins. We need to commit to not doing those sins again. And by the way, we can actually not do those sins again if we put our mind to it. And we choose maybe one or two to focus on over the course of the year. But on top of that, on top of going through the aleph beis and having the sins of the aleph beis, on top of our responsibility to the people, perhaps we also should start thinking about what does an Eved Hashem look like, and that's what we're shooting for on this Yom Kippur as we're dressed in our kittel and fasting so that we're like malachim. That we need to believe that perhaps we too could reach the stage of being an angel. Yiratzom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bless everybody, seal everybody into the book of life, a year and a life full of blessing, a year and a life full of unprecedented atzlacha, and one which we get to share many simchas together.